Welcome back to our Web Development Explainer series. So, you've already mastered basic HTML tags, links, and images. That's awesome. But today, we're taking things to the next level. We're going to transform messy, unreadable web pages into perfectly structured professional layouts. It's time to give your content the proper structure it really deserves. Think about shopping websites, recipe websites, and online courses. They all use lists to organize information clearly. Without lists, web pages would look totally messy and really difficult to read. In this lesson, you'll learn exactly how HTML lists help structure content in a professional way. Let's get right into it. Here is a super quick look at our roadmap for today. We're covering why we need lists, unordered and ordered lists, nested lists and menus, some common beginner mistakes, and a practice challenge. Okay, section 1, why we need HTML lists. You might be thinking, hey, why not just use a keyboard dash for a bullet point? Well, proper HTML lists actually give you 3 massive superpowers. First up is flexibility. You can easily just move the code around to reorder your items. Second is styling. You get specialized elements to target with CSS later on. But the third, and honestly the most important, is semantics. These tags tell screen readers exactly what the content is, making your site properly accessible for visually impaired users. Moving right along to section 2, unordered lists or bullet points. This is going to be your go-to tool when the sequence of your items really doesn't matter. The setup here is super simple and relies on just 2 tags. First is the UL tag, which literally stands for unordered list. Think of it as the big wrapper or container for your whole list. Then, inside that container, you wrap every single individual item in its own LI tag, which stands for list item. Take a look at how the code translates directly to the screen. Notice how we open the UL tag, list out our LI tags for things like bread, coffee beans, and milk, and then we close that UL tag. The real magic here, you don't actually type any bullet points in your source code. The browser just sees those tags and automatically creates those perfect, neat little bullet points for you. Now I want you to take a quick pause here. What do you think would happen if we removed the LI tags from our code and just typed our text directly inside that UL container? Think about that for a second. All right, section 3, ordered lists. By the way, if you guessed that without LI tags, the browser wouldn't know where to put the bullets, or the text would just clump together into a big mess, you hit the nail on the head. The container absolutely needs those tags to separate the items. Now for another scenario. Should we use an ordered list or an unordered list for a recipe? Think about it before we continue. If you said an ordered list, you are absolutely spot on. I mean, mixing up recipe steps usually leads to a totally disastrous cake, right? The OL tag, which stands for ordered list, is made specifically to keep your items in a strict numbered sequence. A really great example of this is a daily routine. Wake up, study HTML, build a project. The sequence here is completely vital, and using that OL tag guarantees the browser treats it as a true step-by-step process. Check out this code. Just like before, we use the OL wrapper and the LI tags for our steps. But notice what's totally missing on the left side? The numbers. You don't actually type out 1, 2, 3. The browser completely handles the numbering for you on the screen. So, if you decide to add a brand new step right in the middle, you just drop in a new LI tag and the browser instantly recalculates all the numbers. It's incredibly efficient. So, your golden rule to remember here is pretty straightforward. Use UL for things like a grocery run, where the order doesn't matter, and use OL when the sequence is strictly important, like a recipe or a ranking. Awesome. On to section 4, nested lists and menus. Once you've got the basics down, you can start combining them. A nested list is exactly what it sounds like. It's an entire list placed completely inside a single list item of another list. This is exactly how we create deep hierarchies and subcategories. If you look closely at Chapter 1 here, inside its LI tag, right before it closes, we open a brand new OL tag. We add 3 subsections and then close it. The browser is super smart. It sees this nested list and automatically indents sections 1, 2, and 3 right underneath Chapter 1. Now here's a massive secret in web development. This exact nesting concept, it's how almost every single website navigation menu is built. Even if a top menu looks like a bunch of slick buttons, under the hood, it's pretty much always an unordered list. And a drop-down menu? That's literally just a nested list. Building menus this way is the absolute global standard for SEO and accessibility. Section 5, mistakes and best practices. Let's set up some quick guardrails so you're coding like a pro from day one. First up, never, ever put raw text directly inside your UL or OL tags. Only LI tags go directly inside them. Second, when you make nested lists, make sure that whole sublist goes inside an open LI container. And finally, don't go too crazy with the nesting. Try to keep it to about 3 levels max, or screen readers and users will just get totally lost.
Almost done. Section 6, Practice Challenge and Recap.
Okay, it's challenge time. I really want you to try this out in your own code editor. Write the code to create a web page with 3 specific lists: an unordered list of your favorite foods, an ordered list of your daily routine, and a nested list organizing front-end and back-end web technologies. Give it a real shot.
Let's do a super quick recap. UL is for bulleted lists where order doesn't matter. OL is for numbered lists. You wrap every individual item in an LI tag. And of course, these simple lists are the hidden engines behind basically all website navigation. You now have the exact tools to give your web pages clean, logical structure. Now that you've learned how to organize content using lists, in the next lesson, we'll explore HTML tables and learn how to display data in rows and columns like professionals. But before you go, try checking out your favorite website right now. Seriously, inspect the page and see how many hidden lists you can spot powering their site. Keep practicing, and I'll catch you